We basically only practice distance control. When my distance control is on, that's when I can contend and win tournaments.
PGA Tour players have an incredible amount of ShotLink data they can dive into to prepare for golf tournaments and even to look into after rounds. And for Keegan Bradley, it was all about the approach play at TPC River Highlands, and our stat guru, Lou Stagner, dove into the numbers not only to look at how great he played in 23, but how he can defend in 24.
Back at the 11th hole with Keegan Bradley, downhill par 3. It has been a birdie fest. And it looks like another one here. And it's another one. Now leads by 5.
What do you remember about your game from the week?
Golf is so hard, and then there's some weeks where it's so much easier.
No issues for Keegan. He's trying to hold a cut in there.
Smart play.
Oh, great shot.
It just came so easy. I let everything come to me, and it's so fun to feel that.
Is that the best you've ever played for 4 days?
That's the best I've ever played. I'd been so desperate for that walk-up 18.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keegan Bradley.
When I hit it to where I knew I could putt it, I was like, screw this, I'm going to enjoy every second.
Keegan Bradley, 2-footer, down it goes. Arms raised in triumph, and Keegan Bradley has won the 2023 Travelers Championship.
There's certain times when you feel like a great player, and that was one of those days.
Are you a ShotLink guy? Like, how do you kind of look at ShotLink?
I'm always evaluating it. It's really fun to look at when you're playing well because you can kind of see where you're gaining the shots and where you're separating yourself from the field.
Oh, yes. Keegan Bradley keeps pouring in the birdies.
Do you look at ShotLink after each round, or are you looking at it after each tournament?
After the tournament, I do peek. Like if I've had like a really nice ball striking day, I want to see, or when I've had a really nice putting day, I want to see. I don't normally look when it's bad. You know, the stats and the data is always super valuable, especially sports now. It's all analytical.
Well, lucky for Keegan, analytics are my specialty. And when I dove into his data from the week, one of the things that really stood out was his incredible distance control with his irons.
Keegan Bradley with his second.
Definitely gonna have a bunch of spin here.
That sounded like good contact. Yeah, that is beautiful. Phenomenal shot.
Of the 51 approach shots Keegan hit that week from the fairway or a tee on a par 3, nearly 3 out of 4 finished within 5 yards of pin high. At 73%, that was second in the field that week.
Keegan Bradley trying to work that in. One way to do it.
3 out of every 4 shots, that's impressive.
So when I see 37 of the 51 within 5 yards of the flag of pin high, I love that. I've actually never seen these stats, so it's all the work, you know, showing up when it matters. The public would be shocked at how good players are at the yardage control and the distance control, because this is hard. And when you're playing at your best and you've got control of the ball, this is when you can win majors and big tournaments.
Keegan Bradley now, 13 feet for birdie. He sends us across the green, dead center.
You did extremely well kind of around that 100-yard mark at the Travelers last year. I mean, it seemed like that was a place where in terms of distance control, you were really dialed.
I do mostly, I think 90% of my practice is on distance control now. I do very little technical work. I make sure my numbers are good, and when they're where I want them to be, I just move on.
Distance control will be a key factor when Keegan goes to defend his title, especially from 75 to 115 yards.
Keegan, 114.
Big difference here in yardage between these two players. Tug it a little bit. Did everything he needed to and wanted to do.
He hit 9 shots from 75 to 115 yards last year, and 8 of them finished within 2 yards of pin high. He gained 3 strokes on just 9 swings. That is very solid. Let me explain how good this is. Keegan was 8 for 9. The typical 10 index is going to do this less than once out of 9 times, according to Arcos.
Keegan Bradley just on a roll, got it to 14 under.
Any advice in terms of distance control for the amateur golfer out there?
Most of the time when I see amateurs play, they never hit enough club, number one. They never get it pin high. For me, I base all my yardages off of length of swing. So if I make this swing, I call it ear to ear with my 58 degree. If I go ear to ear, it goes 92 yards.
Okay.
And I know with my 9-iron, if I make that same ear to ear swing, it goes 146 yards. Exact same swing as that. And that's how I do my numbers. So I base it all off my 58 degree, and I do that all throughout my bag. So I know ear to ear with my 8-iron goes 156, ear to ear with my 6-iron goes 182. So I know how it can gradually get up and get the numbers right.
And then as you're looking to defend this year at River Highlands, is there any dive back into the shot link from, you know, previous wins or previous seasons that kind of just puts you in a good headspace or reminds you of how good it was a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing is the shot link data that I have from the last year, I can just look and see, okay, this is where we were. I can look at the data and see, you know, this is what I need to do in order to contend. These are the shots I need to practice. You know, anytime we can go back and look and get a blueprint of what we need to do, it's always helpful.